Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. These guys like democracy, or they like certain kind of countries whenever those countries are doing whatever they say. If that country decides to not be a subordinate country anymore, or the government decides for the people, then they don't like it anymore, and they find all kind of things. Now, the Western democracies, the lovers of freedom and democracy, they don't really care who's in charge of a country. Anything they care about their country is, you guys allow us to come and take care of your resources and use you and abuse you. Yeah, I don't care if it's Gigi, Mikey, Tom, and I don't care what you do over there in private. Private being your country. Let me have access to your whatever, diamonds, oil, resources, place my strategic missiles over there. And we're friends. I don't care about you guys. If you eat, people, or you eat, aliens, or you eat rocks, I don't care. Supposedly. The second someone over there who does that says, you know what, we're not going to allow you to do that. Oh my God. Then they grow a conscience and say, hey, wait a second, you are not a good person. Look what you do to your own people. Out, put another whistle, and we go in. This is how these guys operate, okay? In Africa, unfortunately for them, and fortunately for the African continent, they don't really have, they kind of lost not only initiative, they're on the run. And Russia and China seems to gain some foothold over not only, but I think they have much more influence on the African continent than the other guys. Now, my personal advice would be, I don't need your influence. As let's say I'm an African, whatever I might be, I don't want anybody else to have influence over my country. I want to be independent, sovereign country, and I don't care if I do business with the Germans, French, Russians, Chinese, North Koreans. I don't care. It's in the interest of my country. If I am independent and sovereign enough and strong enough to say, I'm going to care for my people, I'm not going to allow anybody else to have an influence over me. The problem is, some of these guys in charge, they seem to need protection. And there's so much interest in Africa that if this protection is beaten by this protection, they will have a protection. They have to. It seems like this is also the psychology of weak and unimportant countries. Like, for instance, in Europe, look at small and unimportant countries. Anyone can push them around. They need protection from some. So the same thing is in Africa as well. Some countries are weak. Some countries are strong. But it depends what interests want to get you. In this case, it seems like Russia is kicking out the French and others. And it got the public support. Let's see. Let's read this article coming from the Telegraph. They don't lie. They wouldn't lie to us. They tell the truth, always and forever. So, the Telegraph. Thousands of pro-Russia protesters marched through Niger, capital, in support of coup. Now, remember, these guys, the Telegraph or the Americans or the free world, doesn't have a problem with the coups, as long as the guy who get the power do what I told you at the beginning of this video. A clear example is Ukraine. Remember in 2014, those guys operated, conducted, and succeeded a coup. Viktor Yanukovych was kicked out. The guy was the president of Ukraine, democratically elected, internationally recognized. So he was the legitimate president of Ukraine with the parliamentarians and so on. These guys, with the help of the countries that love democracy, overthrew these guys through a deadly military and bloody coup. It was not like, hey, you move on over. Yeah, thank you very much. I can go over there. No. People died. And what happened? They recognized the new government or whomever the leaders who took over through the coup. The democratic countries recognize it. That's a clear example. That's what happens. So don't believe these guys. We want democracy. You're not a democratic. No, you're not democratic. No, you are. No. If you do whatever they tell you to do, they will ignore all that. So let's see, the same here, the coup. I read about it a little bit. I'm not an expert, but there's not much to know anything. It's a general who took over, I think his president kicked him in the balls and took over. And you have here people celebrating that. Some are celebrating and probably some are not. Like in any society, you can't have the whole society, oh yeah, we like this guy, all of us. You're gonna have, if you're allowed to have a different opinion and express it. Supporters of the coup in Niger attempted to storm the French embassy on Sunday after marching through the capital waving Russian flags and chanting the name of Vladimir Putin. Now, to be fair, how did they get the Russian flags? Are they available over there? They sell them on a bazaar? In this kind of situations, you have people around here who are providing you with all this, like in Europe and like everywhere else, like in Israel and in many. When you see in these countries uprising or protests that last longer, you can bet your ass those guys are not independent. Those guys are financed from behind, supported, they show up. When do we show up? Tomorrow, okay, here it is, take this, we're gonna bring this. Look at their placards that they protest with. They're all with the same letter, the same font, the same colors. Someone made those for them, like not thousands, but hundreds maybe, or tens, in the tens, and they're all the same. Who did that? Like 3 people in a garage, you think? And some of them look very professional. I couldn't make one of that. Like with colored, big ones, banners. Ooh. How do you think? Who provided that? It was an organized institution that paid for it, designed it, and brought it over there. Who are those guys? It's just a spontaneous not uprising, a demonstration or protest. No, my friends, no. That what you have in Israel, as much as I really don't want to cover that one for obvious reasons, the thing is, when you see over there, that's just pushed from behind. If Netanyahu tomorrow says, okay, done, I'm out, let the other guys come in, all those protests will cease today in 15 minutes. They will out. The order, go, hey, out, everybody, our guy is on, bye-bye, we succeeded. That would be it. Look what happened in Georgia when it was that supposed the Russian law with the foreign agent companies that they receive more than 20% finance money from outside. They have to register as a foreign agent, which happens in the United States as well, but the Russians did it in 2006 after the Americans did it in 1936 or 39. So the Russians were Johnny-come-lately to all this, but somehow it was the Russian law. And what they do? Organize all this bullshit. We don't want that to be voted in the parliament, not the president, like Macron. Remember the Macron with, how do you call that, pension reform? He signed everything. He bypassed the parliament, everything. In democratic France, you tell me that's democracy? It's in their law. He didn't do anything illegal. He just bypassed everybody illegally. That means one man decided for the whole country. He didn't have a referendum or anything. No, why would he have? He's going to lose. Like these guys here in the United States. They don't conduct or organize a referendum on let's say, on the border. What about on critical race theory? No, they will not do these kind of things. Why? Because they know that they will lose. So they use all kind of soft power, I've been told by a guy from a union. I said, you have no power in a government. They have unions in the government. I said, what are you going to do? I spoke with an important guy in the union. I said, what are you going to do? Well, we use soft power, like that kind of power. Is that, or you? No, you don't have it. You can't strike. That's the only shit you got with these guys. Or in the governmental institution, you can't strike. As a government employee, you can't strike. That's why when you hear, for instance, these guys, the teachers strikes, then it's illegal. You have the teachers union. How do you have a teacher union? The only thing you have against the, how should I put it, the supervisors, the people in control, the management, that's the word. The management, you have strike. That's all you got, striking. But it's illegal for you. So what's the union doing? How are you going to threaten those guys? Hey, if you don't give us this, if you don't give us this, what am I going to do? Do this to you or what? We're going to strike. You can't. So what? You have nothing. It's soft power. Like what? Get one drunk, give him with a hooker, and then take pictures and videotape him? That's the soft power? Not even that, because they go and drink together. That's why I'm so fond of unions. I'm so fond of them. Oh my God. Because of that. Some of them are passionate and really want to do it, but they are naive. Why? Because once they go higher and higher and higher, they have to play a certain kind of tune, by a certain kind of tune. And the tune is the soft power that I told you before. Pam, 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 zoom, 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 and that's it. You're not going to click, click, clock, clock. They all know it. And I don't know it, but I'm not going to say any more about it. So let's go back here to these guys. So thousands of backers of the military junta gathered outside a diplomatic mission of former colonial power France, stoning the premises and setting the door on fire. A crowd chanted, "Long live Putin," end quote, and "Down with France," end quote. Some supporters attempted to storm the entrance before the crowd was dispersed by Nigerian soldiers firing tear gas. These guys are allowed to go to a certain extent. Now, if the order was given, let them go, stay like this, they would have gone in, like the Capitol. No, just open the door for them. Right? But the order was, let them break shit, let them do this, let them do this, but do not let them get out of control. Control the protests. Who controls it? The guy in power. So it's not oh my God, and you have people infiltrated in the crowd. You have crowd control people. It's like, I can tell you, it's like that. If you don't know, the only advice I can give you is don't participate in it. But if you don't work for some organization or a, how do you call it, department, then there are a lot of books available. All right, to see how you infiltrate, how you use the crowd, how you organize, how you direct the crowd, and it's crowd control, is mass psychology, and these things are done everywhere. And if you really are very sophisticated, you're going to put a certain kind of wavelength, some sound that create panic. I can't remember how they're called, but anyway, they start doing that, and people get panicked, and then you got one say, "Hey, they're shooting, let's go that way," and everybody's like, "Ah, I'm going to go that way. The military is coming and they bring tanks, let's go." With that, you move the whole crowd over there. You need 5 or 7 or five people to go in one direction and yell loud enough. You're going to have all the other ship going there. Why? Because they drop the mental understanding, the cognitive understanding of the situation in the crowd drops to the lowest level of the guy involved. So you got a 50 IQ guy over there. That's the level of the crowd, 50 IQ, my friends. If you didn't, just look into a situation and see how easy it is. And they play with creating panic by playing with people's fears. That's how you move them. Not with candies there, that's money there. If someone tells you, "Hey, I want you to go over there, but you're going to get this, but you say, "Well, you might get shot." "Oh, no, thank you very much." You're not going to move him, you're going to move him that way. "I want you to move over there, because if you go over there, where the money is, you get shot." He's not going to go where the money is, because it gets shot. But if you go that way, you will not get shot, but don't get any money. Buy that way. Guaranteed. For most people. And you don't need everybody. Here's just a few. And everybody's going to be like, "Where's everybody going, man?" We go to the next bar. "Oh, okay. Thank you very much for being with me again today, my friends. My African friends, build your own destiny. You don't have to be listening to anybody else, because they don't come over there as friends. They pretend to come as friends. And I'm not talking about the Russians only. I'm talking about anybody else who comes to help you. Look in your family, and maybe in your family, and maybe 1 or 2 friends that you might have. If you have more than 2 friends, that means they are not your friends. You can call them friends, but they are not your friends. A friend is the person who would die for you, and you would die for that person. Below that, that's not friendship. In my books, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit cuckoo, and the same. You look at your family, look at the loved ones that would really act like more than friends, obviously, and see how many people will do something for you because they love you. They don't want anything in return. And I'm not talking about self-satisfaction. I have GG. Not that kind. We all have that, but that's not the main engine. Just to genuine help. Nobody will do that. Oh, the Russians come here and invest. To do what? The International Monetary Fund or the bank, the World Bank is going to give us a loan. Do you think they come and help you, and you're going to implement certain kind of policies that you're going to be coming like Switzerland in three weeks? You gotta be kidding. They're over there for a profit and taking over and control. So, don't believe me? I don't know. All I can recommend is pay attention, read a lot, and memorize. When you memorize, and then you're gonna create patterns. You're gonna see O, A, I, O, A, dots, pak, 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 pak. Ooh, ah. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.